And we have the game. Ohio State travels to Michigan, Jim Harbaughless, Michigan. Wow, that sounds weird. Um, number 2, Ohio State. Number 3, Michigan. The game, honestly, the biggest game of the weekend. This is a playoff elimination game here between these two teams. Michigan opened up this week at a 5-point favorite. They're currently sitting at 3 points. I think that's a little bit more relevant and true there at 3 points for Michigan here. So, Quinn, let's hear from you first in this game. Boy, this is a big one.
Look, man, it's going to be a really huge matchup. 2 years in a row, I've gotten on here. Let me go back to 2 years ago. My take going into this game was Michigan has not, will not, never will defeat Ohio State, and then they did it. The next year, Michigan cannot, will not, never will beat Ohio State twice. They did it. When we look at these two teams, man, Michigan has pretty much just played flawless football pretty much all year. They hadn't played nobody until these last 2 weeks. Penn State gave them a fight, but they came out and they took care of business and they won. And then they struggled with Maryland, but they took care of business in the end and won the game. I just think Ohio State has spent 365 days changing everything about their culture to make sure they do not get pushed around and out physical by Michigan this weekend. That has been the entire change this team has tried to make. And I think they'll pull it off. I think Ohio State will go into Michigan and will win the ugliest defensive battle you have seen since the 9-6 LSU Alabama game. Give me Ohio State taking down Michigan 17-12.
That's stanky.
That is a stinky score. Oh yeah.
That's a stank that you get after Thanksgiving, like that you got to hit the bathroom kind of stank. That's nasty. Man, I'm looking at this game. The one thing Ohio State's missing, man, is a top-notch elite quarterback, which they had last year. They've got all the other pieces here in front of them. Now you have Michigan without Jim Harbaugh this game, which is, I think, going to be a huge thing. Jim Harbaugh didn't coach the Penn State game. Chase, we know that. Oh, okay. Yeah, Penn State doesn't matter. So that's why that game, it was okay. Jim Harbaugh wasn't there. Okay. Now this matter. I think there's equal talent level here. And then also now you got to bring in coaching a little bit. James Franklin and Jim Harbaugh, but now Ryan Day, Jim Harbaugh. Okay. Now you don't have Jim Harbaugh coaching. How much do you get up for this game if you're a Michigan Wolverine? In Ann Arbor, how much do you get up and say, hey, this is the game? We're not only playing in the game, we're also down a head coach. We got to play for our head coach. We got to show them what's up, right? Last week, you kind of struggled with Maryland, right? You struggled, but are you game planning for Ohio State? Is that what you're doing? You're looking forward to the future. You're not really worried about Maryland, but you almost get caught up. Ohio State, you got a Heisman contender, a top 10 Heisman contender, top 5 in some people's books, and Marvin Harrison Jr., kid, Maserati Marv. Is he going to show up for this game, right? A lot like Quinn. For 2 years now, Michigan can't do it. Michigan won't do it. Jim Harbaugh's not a great coach. Jim Harbaugh can't do it. Jim Harbaugh found a way to steal some signs and became an elite coach, it looks like, Can't penalize the guy too much for that. He found a way to be elite. Haha, just kidding. We're going Buckeyes. I'm going Buckeyes. And the reason I say this is because Ohio State has been steady all year. They've been a little rocky, but then they've gotten steady. They steady things out. Penn State game, they handled their business. Notre Dame game, they handled their business. Every time they faced adversity, they have come through that adversity and won. Now, and I think that Jim Harbaugh not being there to coach this game, I don't know if there's going to be a way he does it from the sidelines or from his house. He's texting plays. I don't know what he's going to do. There's always some way a coach can be involved, right? But I think without him on that sidelines, I think this is where Ryan Day has to nut up. I'm sorry. Sorry for our younger viewers. He's got to nut up and he's got to say, hey, this is why I'm the Ohio State, right? And Harbaugh's been making fun of you for the past 3 years. It's time to do what you've been called and beat your go a third straight year with Michigan without a head coach on that side. Ohio State. Freddie?
Wow. I'll be honest. I was not expecting both of you to go Ohio State here. I was expecting one of you to split the difference. If you guys won't do it, I will. I will go Michigan to win this game at home. I think they're definitely going to get up for this game. Without a head coach, they feel like they have been the target of some conspiracy theory that they're being disrespected, the whole nine. Yes, they're cheaters. I will say it until the cows come home. They cheated. They did. They got caught cheating. Now, I think this win will be vacated in 3 years, but I think they get a win today or on Saturday against Ohio State. I think Michigan's defense is much better than Ohio State's. Ohio State's offense is just atrocious. I honestly feel bad for Marvin Harrison. If he had any sort of quarterback that could get him the ball more, he would win the Heisman this year. Unfortunately, that's not the case. Kyle McCord is just absolutely atrocious. J.J. McCarthy honestly isn't that much better, but I think I would trust J.J. McCarthy in the big moments over Kyle McCord, to be honest. Give me Michigan to win this game. Do they cover the 3.5? No. I think it's a 3-point game. Period. So that half a point might just save me there on the bet. But yeah, huge game, playoff game. Basically, this is a glimpse into what a 12-team playoff would look like. Just so you guys know, because it is a home game.